You know it's been a minute before I've been aside. Yeah, I swear on it all, I'm gonna get it. I'ma go hard, I'ma go hard, I'ma go hard. Let's go. I'ma go hard, I'ma go hard, I'ma go hard. I'ma go.
What's going on, 3 Cal Podcast? I'm Isaac.
I'm Nick.
And whoa, look at that. Raw didn't absolutely suck, but I will tell you this. I did not appreciate the pandering that the fucking show started off with.
Actually, I did. I found that very, very amusing.
Oh,
And it felt good.
it was entertaining. Shout out to Seth Rollins. So what we're talking about, Monday Night Raw kicks off with Seth Rollins in the ring, basically putting all the blame for the shitty ratings, the poor quality of the show on one Baron Corbin. Basically saying that Baron Corbin handed the title to Brock Lesnar, a guy who hasn't wrestled on Monday Night Raw since like 2002, which I don't think is right. I'm pretty sure he had a match not too long ago. Basically saying that one of the tag teams, the Revival, who should be wrestling for the tag team championship, is wrestling every week against the Lucha House Party and the Lucha House rules, and basically is putting this whole situation for the shitty, poor quality Monday Night Raw on one Baron Corbin.
I really appreciated it because the thing that I loved the most about it, because I looked at it this way. If you take Baron Corbin out of it and you replace it with Vince McMahon, it feels like Vince McMahon is making fun of the situation and blaming himself for everything that's going on with the ratings, with the attendance, and it feels like he's taking responsibility for it. That's what I like.
Yeah.
And he just had to be the vessel. So I took it as that, and it was just like, that's good. That is something that I can hold on to because it makes it seem like, yeah, you're listening and you're like taking accountability for the actions of everything. And yes, Brock Lesnar's last match was July 22nd, 2002.
That's crazy. Here's why I didn't really appreciate it. I understand the message. Like I was entertained by what he said, but the show continued on, and there was nothing fixed. So, like, to me, it would have been better if Seth could have directed it directly at one Stephanie McMahon, and not Baron Corbin. Because Baron Corbin's kind of the scapegoat of the whole situation, and I've been a huge fan of what Baron Corbin has been doing in terms of his own personal, like, what he's been putting into it. Because basically, what we're watching is a bad movie with a good actor.
Okay.
And to me, Baron Corbin has been someone who I detest. I don't like. He's super fucking annoying, and that's what his character's supposed to be. But the material he's spewing out of his mouth is so bad that it's just unwatchable at times.
That's fair. But the way that I see it is that we're getting a product that is subpar because he wants to try to aim it towards getting people back by feeding into the bad guy and putting all this weight onto all the good guys. So we commonly hate one person, and when the good guys prevail, then it's a huge payoff.
Right.
So I didn't mind that things were still going Baron Corbin's way throughout the night. I liked that because it showed that he's more of a, I don't care what you say, I'm still going to do what I do because it still is going to work. And because we got the same show, it holds true. So I'm waiting for Sunday, because if Sunday he loses and he loses his power, what's going to happen? How's the show going to get better? What's going to happen next? So I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to Sunday now. Like, I was already looking forward to it for the triple threat between the ladies, but this added just a little bit more for me.
Yeah, to me, the triple threat match is the sole reason I was going to watch TLC Sunday. So here's my one issue. Last week, this is the issue. story continuity does not exist whatsoever. Because our first match tonight is a 2-on-3 handicap match for the tag team titles. Chad Gable, Bobby Roode versus AOP. Last week, Chad Gable and Bobby Roode lost. And they said that they were not going to get a tag team title shot at AOP. Yet, here we are on Monday with Chad Gable and Bobby Roode getting a shot at AOP for the titles. And the match wasn't very good. It was poor quality. Has nothing to do with Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, or AOP's ability to wrestle. It's the fact that it was just overbooked and it was just terrible, not very good.
It really wasn't that good. That was the low point of the night for me. That match, it wasn't great. There was nothing that I can sink my teeth into. Like, I was excited to watch the match again because let's face it, it's entertaining. If they took away the title opportunity and just had it be a straight up match and the finish was still the same, I'd feel a lot better at it, because then it's like, oh, they're going to earn that title shot instead of like, yeah, you guys screwed last week. All right, I'll give you a shot. You kind of thing, you know?
But anyways, we got new tag team champions. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable pick up the win. Bobby Roode rolls up Drake Maverick. And it's basically, we got new tag team titles, or new tag champions.
That's cool. I mean, I'm happy for him. But new gear, new titles.
I mean, another NXT tag team that was super dominant is being buried.
Yeah,
that's three.
But it's gonna turn around for AOP because you can't keep those big guys down.
Yeah. I mean,
so we'll see how that goes.
They're talented, man. They are extremely underrated. I will say that I enjoy their matches. If anyone wants to argue with me, hey, go watch those takeovers with AOP versus
DIY
or DIY or against the Revival. I mean, they wrestle towards their they can wrestle up in terms of skill. They don't really have bad matches unless there's some other bullshit going on. This next part I really enjoyed. Natty was in the ring, cuts a promo saying she's gonna wrestle Ruby Riott on Sunday in a tables match. Natty's promo wasn't great. I mean, it's kind of all over the place, talking about her family, how she's gonna put the Montreal Screwjob behind her and to rest, all this other stuff. When the main focus should have been that it's what she's doing is for her father and the name, and for the namesake of her family, the Hart name, that she's going to make everyone proud, this and that. She didn't really hit that note, which I think was really, really bad. But Ruby Riott came out and spit fire. Okay,
so I personally liked it. I liked her Natty's. I liked her promo because it felt genuine. To me, it felt like this is a woman that is like accepting this new like road. Like it gave me this feeling like this is closer to the end for Natalya, you know. But what I appreciated the most was that she spoke truth when she said, "You said that it was easy for me to get here, but do you remember the Montreal Screwjob? I had that weighing over me coming into this business." And I thought about that and was like, wow, she really did have that still on her.
I wouldn't. Nah. See,
not saying like she still had it on her because of like the Hart name. When you hear it at still around that time when she came around, like what Hart was in the WWE? None. Bret Hart still wasn't around, and there was still a lot of bitterness from the McMahons to the Hart family, because they didn't get to speak until a few years before Bret Hart was coming in. So it was like I see that it took for her to come in my opinion. How I see it is that she came in and helped bridge that gap. But I also feel that it was really tough on her because of her name, because it's like, you're a Hart, you have to live up to that. And it was harder for her to get in because they expected her to be that excellence. It took a long time for her to get into the business. So then when she got in, she stayed. So I really appreciated that, and it kind of shined a light differently. It made me look at Natalya a whole lot different going into this match. But Ruby Riott coming out being Ruby Riott,
That was vicious, dude. What she said about her family, about her dad, the fact that she busted out a table with Jim Neidhart's picture on it. Ooh.
Ooh, not gonna lie. That was probably too much.
Ah, dude. You know what? Jim was a wrestler through and through, and he would have loved it.
No, I know he would have loved it, and I know that Natty had to have been like, okay, well, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Natty has to be all about it.
Natty's all about it.
Yeah.
But me, I was just like, damn. Like, that shook me to my core because that's my dad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you're talking about putting me through that, ending me.
So
like,
here's one thing that Natty should have hit on, too, is the fact that the reason why she got implants and a nose job was because she thought she had to look like the blonde bimbos that were there before her. And so
True.
she should have hit Ruby with that. Like, hey, look, you're mad at me because of my name, but in reality, we're more alike than you can know. I paved the way from you. They looked at me and said ugly and saw ugly duckling. They look at you and they see a tattooed rebel. If you came into WWE when I did, you wouldn't have even got through the door. I kicked that door down for you. And that's what Natty should have hit her with the truth. Because Natty has said it. Even Bruce Pritchard has said it. They viewed Natty as the ugly duckling who wasn't a playboy, a playmate type.
Mm-hmm.
I think Natty's fucking gorgeous. But
yeah, no doubt.
But into John Laurinaitis and the guys that were recruiting and hiring the girls, Natty had to go and work 10 times harder, be that much better in the ring, so she was undeniable.
True. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have had AJ Lee. We wouldn't have had Paige. We wouldn't have had Ruby Riott.
Yeah. So you know what? Say what you want. They want to say the Ballas were part of the whole evolution. Fuck no, dude. This was Natty and this was Beth Phoenix.
Okay, I gotta say this like out loud. I'm really sick and tired of everyone saying that the evolution is because of the Bellas.
It's in spite of the Bellas.
It's in spite of the Bellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the champion, or Nikki was the champion at the time. Yes, she was involved in that 30-second match. Yes, she was there. She wasn't tagged in, was she? No, I don't think.
Remember, dude.
Brie Bella was the one who was in the match, who pinned Emma. So then it's like, I see the frustration, but you also got to look at like weeks before then. You have to look at all of the weeks prior to that one moment and see how it was dwindling down, that nobody cared anymore.
No, absolutely not.
Once they turned away from bra and panties matches, once Trish and Lita left, once Tori Wilson, Stacy Keibler, and all those women left, now you have these groups of women that are trying to put on these great matches. Gail Kim, who wanted to do more, like more matches, like
right.
more athletic matches, and not getting it. Melina, who was one of the best women at that time, Victoria, you know.
Yeah.
It's like seeing them and doing all what they were doing and they not getting that opportunity to really showcase their skills was ridiculous. And the fans saw that. The fans recognized that. And here we are looking at this 30-second match like, are you kidding? She's the champion and she didn't even get in the match and it was 30 seconds long. Yeah, I'm going to be pissed off. So I really don't want to give that credit to them. I want to give the credit more to Paige because when she came in, AJ Lee, I keep wanting to call her Amy Lee. When they came in at that point in time, they were hot. Everybody wanted to see them.
Yeah, I mean they were the talented ones. They
were the talented ones. So it was more of like, I think it was like, no, give them a chance because we want to see what this new breed of women can actually do.
Right.
I didn't care about the Bellas. I cared about seeing Paige and AJ Lee.
These are the girls that wanted to do it since they didn't. These are the girls that didn't have Barbie dolls growing up. They had the Rock and Stone Cold dolls, action figures. That's who we wanted because it was they loved and respected the craft and they went and did it the hard way. They didn't come in as models, and then this is why WWE has insulted my intelligence so much, is because they try to force a narrative that doesn't fit with the actual truth.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, we don't have someone like CM Punk, because I'm a fan of Seth, but if CM Punk would have delivered that promo that Seth put out, it would have been a different impact.
It would have been a bigger impact, I think, because we all know that CM Punk has been frustrated, and he was frustrated when he was fighting The Rock. You see it in his face how frustrated he is. You saw how frustrated he was when it looked like the build was going to be for him to go and wrestle for the title after Royal Rumble. But you get Triple H, and you see that frustration. You see all of that. And if he would have stayed, imagine how the promos actually would have been at this point in time. Like, CM Punk, and I was having this conversation with somebody, and they were saying that CM Punk was angry because he wasn't going to be champion like forever. And it was like, that wasn't his argument.
His issue was him not being the main event at WrestleMania when he was a motherfucking champion.
Exactly. And he was trying to make a point to say that there's so many guys back there that are busting their ass that don't get these opportunities. And it's not fair. It's not right. Things need to change. And when he was fighting for that change, you see different things happen. You see little things that you don't realize that is because of CM Punk made a point to say this and to walk out. We got a better WWE product because of him walking out, because of him speaking his mind. I will, yes. Now we're seeing like, okay, this is crap right now. But when he left, how much better did Raw get? How much better did SmackDown get? How much better did the pay-per-views get? Because they didn't have a choice. They had no choice but to put somebody in a position to win. We got Daniel Bryan in that incredible Occupy Raw moment.
All right, hold on. All right, let's do this. We can talk about CM Punk. We will do a special episode on two things, separate episodes: Montreal Screwjob, and then we will do one, the impact of CM Punk on WWE.
I love it.
Because we could talk about this for an hour, each one separately for an hour, and we will do that because me and you are on two different spectrums of CM Punk, and I think me and you are on two different spectrums when it comes to the Montreal Screwjob. So let's go back to Monday Night Raw. Bayley versus Alicia Fox, another match that we've had over and over and over again that I don't want to see. If you're gonna work shit out for the mixed match challenge, do it on the house show circuit, because I'm a fan of Bayley, and you know my affection for the crazy foxy Alicia Fox.
True. Yes.
The best part of this match, the two best parts of the match, was Alicia Fox's entrance when she was doing the dance with the Singh brothers, and then when Juan Apollo Crews came out, and you know what I'm gonna say?
Come on, son.
He picked up Sasha Banks at her request, and he threw her at Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers, but his hand placement and finger placement was one that you might see on the Pornhubs.
Oh my gosh. Drift. It is on Pornhub, dog.
Dude, so someone on Facebook posted up like, did Apollo Crews go knuckle deep on Sasha Banks? And I was like, oh, yes, he did. You couldn't even see his thumb making a circular motion,
Yeah.
And that picture is everywhere.
It's everywhere, and it's just funny as hell to me because I'm looking at it, and when it first happened, I was like, okay, Apollo, watch your hands, and then I see it, and I'm like, oh, dude, come on, son.
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh no, Apollo, no, Apollo, no. But you know what? Sasha was cool with it because she even posted it on Instagram afterwards. It kind of, I guess it kind of happens.
It happens.
I mean, with guys, it's a little different because it's a handful of nuts. This happened to be a fingerful of camel toe.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good laugh. Apollo is most definitely professional. He's a good guy. And it was just one of those situations. It was a cool moment though when he like launched her into them.
Yeah.
Just the whole after effect. You're like, We're filthy creatures. We're filthy-minded creatures. What can you expect from us?
Yeah, we are.
Next, Elias. Oh, next.
Oh, but we should say we respect women, and
Absolutely.
we would never do that
No.
ever.
No. And
But that was
if we
funny.
if we did accidentally do it, we would apologize over and over
Like,
again.
yeah, hey, sorry about that. Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing.
You
Uh,
shit.
I'll never pick you up again.
Yeah. Next time, I'm gonna toss you like a bag of potatoes. Just launch
Yeah.
you at him with one arm, and if you make it, you make it. If you don't, well, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Dean Ambrose had an interview with Charlie. I tuned out. Did you know what he said?
Who interviewed who now?
Charlie interviewed Dean Ambrose.
I know who did who now. No, but no, it was. I have to say I like it.
Okay.
I like it, and it was only because that it's still weird. It's still Dean Ambrose, and it took a minute because I think last week or the week before I said I don't like this, but listening to him and really watching his mannerisms and how he's attacking the situation, it's deep. It's a lot deeper than we originally thought.
Right.
It's just like, oh, he's saying everybody's gross and he's trying to push himself as a heel. But it's more like he wants to rid the earth of all things that are like disgusting and bad and unpure, and like wants to purify the lakes of Minnetonka. It's dope, and it's really smart and calculated because it's like a slow burn, and I love it. So I'm with it. I thought it was really dope, and the best part to me was when she played him that video and expected his response, and he kind of just looked and he walked away because it was more like, I think you just answered your own question, and it's brilliant. It's really smart. I love it.
I might have to go back and watch it again. Next, Elias is out. He sings a song, basically bashes on LA because they're in San Diego. We get Leo Rush versus Elias. Actually, a really good match. Leo Rush is the shit. But the main story here was Heath Slater was the referee for this match, starting his new gig. And this is that I kind of liked. Basically, he is Baron Corbin's little bitch. And so Bobby Lashley gets involved, doesn't disqualify Leo Rush. And then Bobby Lashley ends up smashing that guitar on Elias. Leo Rush ends up picking up the win. After the match, basically, Baron Corbin gives props to Heath Slater, saying you did a good job out there. And Heath Slater is really disgusted with himself.
I love it. Like, I really like this angle, and the only problem I had with it initially for a quick second was, okay, if Baron Corbin loses on Sunday, that's his only appearance as a referee, things are going to change, blah, blah, blah. But of course it changed, but I really do like it. I just wish they would have done it 2 weeks ago. If they would have done it 2 weeks ago, this build of his frustration would be so much better. It'd be so much sweeter.
You're absolutely right, dude. They fucked up the build by not doing it correctly. But I still will like to see. The way I see it is Heath Slater's going to end up being the whipping boy. Baron Corbin after this whole fallout happens.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Alexa Bliss is out there with Nia Jax. They're going to do a whole Q&A. Nia Jax grabs the mic, cuts a terrible promo. I zone out. Ronda Rousey comes out. We end up getting Ember Moon versus Tamina Snuka. A pretty decent match. Ember Moon ends up picking up the win. And yeah, I mean, they need to not give the microphone to Nia Jax ever again.
I don't know. I agree, but then I disagree only because when she's talking, people are booing because of what she did to Becky, obviously. But what I do like is that she's capitalizing on it. She doesn't need to keep mentioning what she did to Becky. What she needs to do is just talk about how she's going to beat up Ronda, and then when she screams is what I like, because it shuts me up because I'm just like, all right, like you can. And then when she screams, I'm like, whoa, okay, calm your tits, calm down. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just not a fan of the whole thing. It to me, it's just her
But the
promo
thing that
skills
bothers me the most, what bothers me the most is that Tamina's there.
Yeah, to
I
me, it doesn't bother me. Tamina's there. To me,
love Tamina.
yeah,
No, I love Tamina. I want her to be there, but I need her to not lose. Like it's not fair that she's the punching bag of this tag team. It's very offensive because she's a fucking warrior. She's dope. So give her her roses. You know, I want to see Tamina as a champion. For someone who's never held the women's championship in her entire career, that's ridiculous to me.
well,
I mean, what the hell? How long has Tamina been in the WWE? Like 10 years, maybe?
she kind of got her start right around the same time Natty did.
Yeah, I mean, she's 40.
Yeah.
She came in 2009.
Okay, maybe a couple years after.
Like that's crazy. Yeah, and in WWE, never. She's never. She was ranked 19 of the top 50 females in 2012.
Yeah.
She was in the worst worked match of the year in 2013 with AJ Lee, Oksana, Alicia Fox, Caitlyn, Rosa Mendez, Summer Rae versus Brie Bella, Cameron, Ava Marie, JoJo, Naomi, Natalia, and Nikki. When was that? Oh my gosh.
It felt like a
That sounds
SummerSlam match, dude. That's fucking trash.
That sounds like it. And then worst feud of the year, Team PCB versus Team Bad versus Team Bella. Yeah, that was terrible too. That was terrible. But she's never won a championship in the WWE. So that blows my mind, and like that hurts because she is really good.
Main event of the night, TLC match, Intercontinental title, Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins. A really quality match. Again, Heath Slater was the referee. Seth Rollins going for the title. Heath Slater knocks him off the ladder. Super kick, and then Seth Rollins goes up against the title. I mean, why are we having a TLC match on Raw before his match at TLC against Dean Ambrose?
Let's not front. I like it. What else are you going to do to try to get them to really watch?
It's too late, man.
I don't know. It was a nice grab at trying to get that title.
All right. Well, Raw isn't cutting the mustard, man. I mean, they tried. They swung and missed because guess what? SmackDown did. They hit a goddamn grand slam. First thing they did to kick off SmackDown was Daniel Bryan was in the ring face to face with one Mustafa Ali. Now, why is Mustafa Ali in the ring with Daniel Bryan? Because they're gonna have a match. And here's the thing: Daniel Bryan was like, you know what, Mustafa, you are the MVP of 205 Live. You are really great. These fans don't deserve you. Basically, telling him the damn truth, because you know that post that I tagged you in. You read it. Basically, what's her name? What was her name? Maria Kanellis. Basically, was backstage with some of the 205 guys watching the monitors as Daniel Bryan wrestled Mustafa Ali, and she said, "We're part of a revolution. These guys bust their asses off. They work so hard, put on great matches to empty arenas."
Yeah.
And you know what? Who knows about empty arenas, empty venues? Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
And him and Mustafa Ali basically have an incredible match that was about 15 minutes, despite the fucking commercial breaking right in the middle of their match. Mustafa Ali hung in there with one Daniel Bryan.
What's crazy is that when it comes to like those picture-in-picture like commercial breaks,
yeah,
I try tune in and I try to watch it, sometimes the commercials will get me and I pay attention to the commercial, but I was thoroughly watching this. So when that Spanish Fly happened, I was like, oh, yes!
Yeah, dude.
Because I love that move.
They hyped the fuck out of that on the replay.
They did.
Daniel Bryan ends up winning with a heel hook. But, dude, Mustafa Ali had a star-making performance.
He did. I mean, that was such a good night for him. It was a really good night. It was a really good show. The man, I feel as though he should get more props.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like he should definitely be called up. If 205 Live for some reason does not exist or it shuts down, he needs a main roster spot. He does. I mean, he just went in there toe-to-toe with the champion and held it down. And not only held it down, they burned that shit down. So I'm with it with him being on the main roster. Him, Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak can do some things. Even if they brought up the Cruiserweight title onto the main roster and they just used it sparingly, I think that some of those guys can still, like, push the envelope. I think that's, in my opinion, I feel like that's what they're doing with the Lucha House Party, like bringing them up and really trying to test them out as a tag team. So then they can, if that works, hey, they're popular. This is working. Let's see Mustafa Ali. Oh, that worked. Okay, let's put Cedric Alexander out there against Finn Balor. You know, let's see how that works.
I mean, or him a great match, but
Cedric Alexander versus Seth Rollins in an open Intercontinental Championship title match. Fire.
Well,
Cedric Alexander versus Shinsuke Nakamura in the U.S. Open. Fire.
Here's the issue. The way the cruiserweights are used on Raw compared to how they've been used on SmackDown, complete polar opposites. Lucha House Party basically is just a novelty act. I mean, Drake Maverick pissed his pants. Leo Rush is a mouthpiece for a wasted Bobby Lashley. Mustafa Ali has a damn near 5-star star-making performance with Daniel Bryan on SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's about pushing and giving us what we want and deserve and what we're going to be happy with. The other one is a mockery.
That's fair. Yeah.
Speaking of mockery, Usos versus The Bar in a rap battle with the New Day as judges. The Bar made me laugh so hard with how bad their raps were.
I'm sorry, but The Bar has bars.
But the Usos spit that Dylon hot fire.
They did. When they came out and said, how do you push his teeth up his mouth without breaking it? Let's ask Mr. Turnbuckle. Oh, that was fire. Flames.
Ooh, yeah, dude. It was, oh my God. They ended up brawling at the end. So that was really cool. Next, we get The Miz. He calls out Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon's like, yo, man, what's up with your obsession with that trophy? Basically, The Miz says, you know what? I've never been called the best in the world ever. People made fun of me. And yet, because of you, I can say I am the best in the world. They end up having a tag match versus the Vegas Boys. Shane McMahon ends up getting attacked by them. They end up having a match. Shane and The Miz pick up a win.
Damn right.
But you know what, dude? The Miz came out with some powerful fucking acting.
I love The Miz. You know how I feel.
Yeah.
The thing that I loved the most was the fact that they are selling him so well as a face that I really can't wait to see how it's going to work after this whole thing is said and done.
Yeah.
Like, I need to see where this goes next. So I'm very excited. Very excited.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see where it's going to go too. Randy Orton is cutting a promo about his chair match against Rey Mysterio at TLC. Keeps talking. Rey comes out, attacks him with a steel chair to hype that up.
Oh my gosh.
Next, we get Rusev and Jeff Hardy versus Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. A pretty quality match. The faces go over. And basically, next we get our main event, Asuka versus Charlotte. with Becky Lynch at ringside, and the women have proven that they can hold down the main event spot.
They have. Who else expected them to do it that way?
Yeah. It was a really good quality match, a lot of back and forth, a lot of counters. Asuka with that nasty code breaker, countering Charlotte's spear. Basically, Charlotte breaks down, loses her shit, grabs a kendo stick, smashes Asuka with it. Asuka wins via DQ. Becky gets involved, attacks Charlotte after Charlotte hits her in the leg with the kendo stick. Doesn't really matter. Asuka ends up with the kendo stick, ends up beating the shit out of both of them with it.
See, that's the thing that bothers me a little bit about the situation, though. Why does old girl have to do that? Because, yeah, it was entertaining and it was great and we loved it, but this is showing like a weak side to Charlotte.
Yeah.
That when someone is tougher, when someone is better, she can't cut it. And that bothers me. Because if she's the queen, she needs to show up. And we know Asuka's tough. We know Becky's tough. We know Ronda's tough. But with her breaking down like that to Ronda, makes sense. Her breaking down like that to Asuka, not so much. It does, but it doesn't, because it only weakens the strength of the queen.
I think we're seeing cracks in her game.
Exactly.
It's going to be her becoming the dirtiest player in the game's daughter, and we're going to maybe see a little more of that. So they can be setting her up for a heel turn. It's really hard to tell, but in all, SmackDown, SmackDown's been fire, dude. I mean, there wasn't really any misses in SmackDown. Everything was really good. I'm curious to see what's next for everybody involved on SmackDown. I mean, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles at TLC. What happens there? What happens to AJ Styles? But yeah, no, it's a lot of good stuff.
It's a lot of good stuff, and I'm really excited to see what happens next.
Buddy Murphy versus Grand Metalik, 205 Live. That's our first match of the night. Good back and forth action, but of course, Buddy Murphy, the champion, ends up winning.
Buddy.
We only got 2 matches that night, or on 205 Live. Tony Nese versus Cedric Alexander. Again, a really good quality match. But Cedric Alexander picks up the win. And basically, it's a nice setup for Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy at TLC.
Which I didn't expect this match to happen at TLC, but I'm really excited to see it happen.
And let's see here. NXT was okay. But let's just go ahead. The whole first 2 matches don't really matter. No one really cares. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch beat TM 6-1, or The Mighty, whatever the fuck they're called this week.
The Mighty.
Undisputed Era, they get taken out by EC3 and Heavy Machinery. So that's whatever. The main event of the night was Ricochet versus Prince Pretty. They hyped it up that Ricochet was going to have an open invitational. He had no idea who it was. I thought it was going to be some jobber or somebody. Turns out it was Prince Pretty returning back to his kingdom, to quote Morello. And the match was fire.
The match was fire, yo. That was such a good match. I fucking love those two.
So Tyler Breeze got so much love from that crowd, and it was nice for him to be able to showcase what he can do in that ring.
Yes, it was, and I hope, because we know Triple H is big on him, but I'm hoping that Triple H will be like, you know what? I think it's time, yo. I think it's time. He only has a little bit of time until Fandango comes back, and then we'll probably get a Fashion Police episode. But I think I really would love to see, like, what will happen afterwards. But I really want to see him, like, turn on Fandango, or Fandango turn on him. Like, yeah. I would love that, and I would really want Tyler Breeze to have his moment in the sun. I need a ladder match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship, and I need Tyler Breeze to win. I need that Zack Ryder moment.
Someone like Tyler Breeze and a lot of the smaller guys that are on the main roster that are kind of being wasted away, they could benefit from having 205 Live being its own specific thing, like on its own night, in its own time slot, filmed in its own location.
Yeah.
Because this whole filming before SmackDown kind of kills the vibe. They do a really good job with camera angles to make sure that the crowd looks fuller than it actually is. But you miss a lot of good quality matches, or you miss out a lot of good quality stuff from a lot of people because there just isn't enough time. Despite Monday Night Raw being 3 hours, there still is not enough time to get everybody the exposure they need in that ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully, with all these, with their working relationship with Evolve, and the fact that it really does seem like they're heading towards having a lot of independent content on the network with WWE stars wrestling at those events. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with a lot of that stuff. Let's jump into some news. So Seth Rollins and Jimmy Jacobs, they kind of responded to all the negativity and criticism on Night Raw. Jimmy Jacob basically went on and said, writing 3 hours of wrestling TV show every single week is fucking hard. Seth Rollins hits us with that's one thing I don't think people understand. 5 hours of live TV every week, and then all extraneous variables that affect the final outcome, and it's a martyr miracle that the show comes together as well as they do. Jimmy Jacob,
very true.
Yeah, Jimmy Jacob says everybody's allowed their opinion. I take zero offense to it, but one of the first things I learned writing is that it's easy to point out the problems. The job is to come with solutions. Here's the thing.
Damn right.
I can fix that problem pretty easily. You want to know what you do? Hire more writers. Plain and simple.
I don't know if that's going to be the answer. I feel like, yeah, they can hire more writers, but it's not just hiring more writers. I think it's more hiring people that have wrestling on the brain, that go to bed with this, that wake up to this, that dream of this, that their first word was, heel turn. Like, you know what I mean? We need people that bleed this, that is not just a business-minded writer to try to write an episode. I want people that are true fans that can also write good television. Like, if you're writing it from a fan's perspective, that can still bring in money and still keep the entertainment aspect of the product, it's a win. So go with somebody that's a fan that can write. I mean, hey, they are accepting applications, but I would rather see somebody that has a strong love for this, or someone that has been with the business for a while in the WWE that turned into a writer or producer, like Tyson Kidd, or having Natty come and start writing episodes, Lita start writing for the women, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that would be dope, because then they're coming from a wrestler's perspective of what they have seen while in the ring and what they've seen on the outside of the ring, and bring that together to create something that is entertainment, that has a strong storyline, strong longevity. Hell, even if CM Punk came back and started writing, I think that, when he walked into Vince McMahon's office and wrote like 16 weeks of TV and was like, this is what I'm doing, it worked for him. It worked. Well, so why not take the opinion of the people that are also there? Right.
Well, how many of those guys in the back have that initiative to do it? Some guys there are to collect a paycheck. Some guys don't have the creativity that CM Punk has.
But listen to the voices of the people that are frustrated. The Revival. Listen to Zach. The Zach Attack. Let some of the women back there that aren't getting the spot, help come up with those ideas. Like, let's get together with the writing team and figure that out. I don't know if that's what they do already. Probably they do, but let's really take a deep dive and unpack what's wrong, what can we do, and how would you see it as a fan.
Yeah. Well, Tyson Kidd's job isn't to write. His job is to put together the match based on what the writers have given him. That's what the backstage agents do.
No, I'm
They
just saying,
critique
like,
and tell them how to deliver a promo, how they should be doing things. The writers. So here's the thing: Freddie Prinze Jr. worked for WWE. He spoke about it candidly on a podcast with Macaulay Culkin, because Macaulay Culkin is a hardcore wrestling fan, and I mean, Freddie Prinze Jr. fucking loves pro wrestling himself.
he's a scary wrestling fan. I'll say that.
Oh yeah. So basically, also he was saying, like, you know what, it was a lot of hard work. You come in every week, you give ideas, and your ideas get shot down. Bruce Pritchard said that, yeah, you know what, Freddie Prinze was there for a short period of time. A lot of people said that he wasn't in there for the right reasons. He was kind of doing it just for the fuck of it. But in reality, he was traveling with WWE every week. And he would telecommute, you know, send stuff in when people were in Stanford, because that's just how it worked out. But that's how a lot of guys' deals work out, the good Hollywood writers that they would hire. They have, I know for a fact, they've extended several offers to different comedians, one being Tony Hinchcliffe, who is a massive wrestling fan.
Yeah.
They've also extended deals to, I can't remember his name now, but he's an actor / comedian. He was on the show Undateable. Black guy with who's a little heavy, talk kind of funny.
That's like every black guy.
Well, he's the only black guy on that show, Undateable. He's a
Was he
huge
the
wrestling
one?
fan.
Was he the one that snitched out Bill Cosby?
No, that's Hannibal Buress. But anyway, so this guy, they offered him a deal. It wasn't enough money, or it wasn't enough money, but he didn't want to have to travel every week. So the issue is, like, you can hire guys to do this stuff, and there's guys out there that are huge fans, even women out there, but it's the travel that's so grueling, and it's the fact that working with Vince McMahon that is damn near impossible.
Oh, Ron Funches.
Ron Funches, yes.
Yeah.
So he actually has a podcast episode with the wrestler coming up that I want to check out. But yeah, no, it is. That's what it really is. It's, you got to have people that love wrestling, that are obsessed with it and want to push the envelope. But in reality, it really is Vince McMahon, that those reins that Vince is holding, he's got to loosen his grasp on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fact that he isn't that involved in SmackDown is the reason why SmackDown is killing it.
That's fair.
So Jason Jordan is being evaluated by doctors this week. So we'll get word soon whether or not he's going to be medically cleared.
I hope so, man. He's such a great talent, and it just sucks that he went down like that. If he's unable to wrestle, there's something out there for him, and I love that kid.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes was at a interview thing with Bruce Pritchard recently. Basically, he says that he rejected WWE's offer a few weeks ago.
See, that breaks my heart. Yeah, that breaks my heart.
Yep.
Because I'm such a huge Cody Rhodes fan, and I loved Cody Rhodes when he was dashing Cody Rhodes. I loved him when he was fighting for his job with his family. I love Cody Rhodes when I just love Cody Rhodes, and I think that he's a fantastic workman. But what he's doing now, he can continue to do that, and I feel like Vince will still call him, hey, you want to come back?
Yeah, there's going to be those fillers out all the time.
The man's dope.
Yeah.
And congratulations to him for knowing his value, and they are like not trying to. They shouldn't have let him go. You guys are stupid.
Well, he would never have that value if they wouldn't have let him go.
True.
Plain and
Very
simple.
true.
Matt Hardy's making the rounds doing interviews. He's going to be returning sooner than later.
Who?
Matt Hardy. He's going to be returning soon.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's nice.
He's been doing interviews and podcasts. So we'll have to wait and see when that happens. It probably won't be until after WrestleMania. Let's see here. So one Dolph Ziggler has went and did the smart thing and deleted his entire Twitter feed.
I know. I saw that, and I love Bray Wyatt. Like what was interesting was that I actually turned on the notifications for every one of Bray Wyatt's tweets and read them, and I don't know what he was planning, but you have no idea how bad I wanted to see that. So for him to delete everything and start over, I'm really excited to see what happens next. And I didn't know you can delete all of your posts. I'm about to get on that.
Oh yeah. Big Cass had a seizure
Yo,
at a
that
House
was
of
sad.
Hardcore show, so he's been pictures surfaced of him. Also, he looked a lot heavier than he had on WWE. So I don't know what's going on with the man. Speedy recovery, big fella. Hope you get it together. And if the road of wrestling, the life isn't for you, you sir have a degree with numbers. Go work on Wall Street, make some money, and just live that normal civilian life, man. Maybe this isn't your best life.
Um, there were rumors that was going around that he's on drugs, and that's not the case. It's not drugs. We do know that he has had an alcohol problem, so that could be one contributing factor. And also him gaining all that weight, he's really not taking care of himself.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I really appreciated was the adult in Enzo Amore through all of that. He heard about it, posted a picture of himself and Cass, and said something like, if I had a dime for every time we were knocked down and didn't get back up, I'd have 0 dimes.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Even if it was like his catchphrase or whatever, it was still a big up for him. And I'm glad that he was mature enough to do that, because he did talk a lot of shit when Cass did hurt his leg. So yeah. It was a beautiful thing to see, and I really hope that Big Cass gets better soon.
So yeah, no, really, I do think it was alcohol related. I think he might have been on a heavy bender, because seizures is a symptom of detoxing from alcohol, especially after a consistent time period of drinking heavily. His physique, he has that gut, so yeah, dude, this dude's been hitting that sauce a little hard. I don't think it's drugs, but the booze, man, that's another demon. So hopefully he gets his shit together.
No, for real, because my brother, he had a seizure once, and then apparently I did, but I didn't. Like, it was kind of scary.
Yeah.
It's bad. That's bad. But I just hope he gets better soon.
Speaking of alcoholics, Hall of Famer WWE legend Jeff Jarrett was at backstage at SmackDown.
That was good.
Segue.
From out of nowhere.
Yeah, so it's cool seeing Jeff Jarrett, not just being a figurehead in the Hall of Fame and actually showing up.
Mm-hmm.
He looks good though. He looks clean and sober. Speaking of clean and sober, John Jones has officially been cleared to return to fighting by the California State Athletic Commission. My man John Jones has even admitted that he ain't sober. He's smoking weed and drinking booze, which means one thing: he's gonna fuck some motherfuckers up.
We'll see. I mean, I'd love to see John Jones get into the ring or the octagon, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
Oh, and speaking of UFC, USADA has cleared Brock Lesnar of skipping a drug test. Apparently, there was some sort of technical issue that said Brock Lesnar went missing and was dodging their drug test. In reality, it wasn't true. It was a system glitch.
Okay.
I don't believe USADA for 1 second.
I don't either.
Let's see here. What else do we got? Colt Cabana files a new lawsuit against CM Punk after his last one was thrown out by the court.
That's sad, man. That's really sad.
Yeah. They were
like
damn near
best
brothers.
friends.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, what is going on?
The next round of WWE Performance Tryouts is in January. Northeast indie wrestler Penelope Ford, she's 26, She recently wrestled Jazz at the NWA event, at the NWA 70 event. Former MMA fighter Eric Spicely, who's 32, he competed in the UFC middleweight division. He has been working the Northeast Indies. NPCC bodybuilder Courtney Lemmings. God, dude, she is stunning. She's a former high school volleyball player who has done modeling and acting. Former University of Maryland football player T. Miles. He's 28. This is his second WWE tryout.
Okay.
So I do not see one Adam Mayhem on the list. Hopefully soon.
Mayhem, where you at?
He's been radio silent on Twitter.
He has, but he's been very active on Facebook.
Oh, maybe I gotta add him on Facebook.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
Mojo Rawley has basically been tweeting a lot, some cryptic stuff. One of his last ones was, they cast you into darkness, unaware of what it will do to you, unaware of how it will transform you. What happens is not what they will expect. It will not be what you expect. Mojo Rawley is one eloquent motherfucker.
He is.
This motherfucker speaks like 3 languages, has a fucking MBA, and had a shot at the NFL, but said, "Nah, I'm gonna go wrestle."
I know, right? That's crazy.
This motherfucker. Good guy.
Great guy.
Last bit of news before we get into TLC predictions. AJ Styles' contract is expiring, but it sounds like he might have already re-upped with working with reduced dates. Also, the club contracts are expiring in the springtime, and they are expected to re-sign because they got kids and they don't want to be away from them in Japan.
No, definitely not.
You got any news?
No.
Other than the fact that your Dallas Cowboys are about to make the motherfucking playoffs because of the fucking Raiders.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. We play the Raiders next week?
No. Because of the Raiders. Because we traded Amari Cooper to you, you now have a number 1 wide receiver or Dax Prescott to fucking throw to.
That's fair. I mean, it was a good match, or it was a good game last week, or on Sunday. I was watching a little bit of it, and I was like, okay, this is good. So I'm happy to see my team killing it. I'm happy to see the Raiders go down in flames. They're just, I don't know what's going on with y'all.
They literally just fired their GM, who should have been fired at the end of last season. But, you know.
No, okay, so there is one thing, though.
Garbage fire.
Garbage fire. I told some people about the podcast and everything when we were talking, and somebody heard the show last week. His name is Chris. He heard the show, he likes it, and then he said, "Yeah, but you guys were totally wrong about the fight that Deontay Wilder, that Deontay actually controlled the entire fight." I was like, "What the hell were you watching?"
No, he did not. He was whipping left and right.
I was like, "Hey, dude, watch that fight again." He didn't control anything. He was gassed. He kept trying to throw that haymaker. He was trying really hard to hit him as hard as he can because he wanted to get that knockout because he didn't want to see those hands. He did not realize how strong Tyson Fury actually is. And saying that we don't know boxing, and I'm like, you're crazy, son. I watch boxing matches for fun. If I'm sick, I'm in bed watching boxing. Yo, you're insane. And then he hit me up yesterday and was like, "Hey, yeah, I watched the fight again. You were right. He didn't control anything." I was like, duh. He didn't control anything. That was the worst match I've ever seen. It was a great match, but that was not his best. He showed a lot of holes in his game. He got gassed.
Apparently, he had broke his arm 2 weeks before the fight.
What?
Deontay Wilder, yeah, and he had he had surgery 2 weeks before the fight. I guess he had broken it before that, and so he was like, I think that might have affected him, but I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see what the rematch holds.
I'm definitely watching that. I'm
Oh,
gonna have a
hell
party for
yeah.
that.
Let's get into some predictions. First match: Fabulous Truth, R-Truth, and Carmella versus Jinder Mahalisha Fox. Mixed match challenge final. Winning team gets the 30th entrance in their respective Royal Rumble.
Um, Obviously, none of these four are gonna win the Royal Rumble.
Oh God, no.
None of them. If our truth ended up winning the Royal Rumble, do you know how hype I would be?
Oh,
I would
dude,
lose my mind.
I would probably get an R-Truth tattoo.
For real. Like, oh my gosh. That's crazy. But I think just for that dance break, it'll be our truth and Carmella.
I will agree with you there. I do think R-Truth and Carmella will pick up the win.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match.
Rey Mysterio.
I'm gonna go Randy Orton.
Okay.
Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander, WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. Now this match is not a ladder match, but it should be.
It should be, and it would kill. But I think Buddy Murphy might win. I think they might save a Buddy Murphy loss till WrestleMania. So I'm gonna go with Buddy Murphy.
I'm gonna pick Buddy Murphy too, and I think his next opponent will be Mustafa Ali, and I do think that that's when we will see Mustafa Ali take that title off of him.
Yeah, I agree. Or since Hideo was back, we might see like a face turn. I don't know, but we'll see.
Natty versus Ruby Riott tables match.
Oh, Natty.
Yeah, Natty's got to win.
If she goes through that table, but there's also talk. I don't know if this is true. It's a rumor. It's just a rumor, but there's a rumor out there that Natty is looking to retire, and she would be in the Hall of Fame this year.
Wow. Well, we'll have to put a pin in that.
Yeah.
The Bar, the New Day, and the Usos triple threat tag match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Who holds the most tag team championship reigns of all time in the WWE? Is that Edge and Christian?
I think so.
Okay, so I think it's 9 or something like that. I think the Bar would be dope to continue that reign, but I think the Usos are gonna take it.
I'm gonna say the New Day.
Okay.
Only because I have hope that they will hold all the gold.
There's always hope, but what I'm really hoping for is that they don't hold a championship and Kofi Kingston again gets into the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
It's not a Royal Rumble without Kofi.
That's true. Elias versus Bobby Lashley ladder match. A guitar will be suspended above the ring, and the first to retrieve it can use it as a weapon.
I might say, I think I'm going to say Bobby Lashley.
I'm going to go with Elias. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre, a singles match.
If he's even there, I'll go with Finn Balor.
Oh, yeah, Finn Balor missed Raw because the man's got sick.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Drew McIntyre. Let's see here. Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax.
Ronda.
Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Asuka, TLC match for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
This has to be the main event. I don't care.
Should close out the motherfucking show.
It should close the show. And I think Becky's going to retain.
I will say Becky retains as well.
And I got to say, when Asuka was smashing them both in the back to back Drake style, no, I'm sorry, was killing them softly with the Pusha T vibe. I was like, yes, I love this. I'm definitely going to go with Becky.
Yeah, okay. So Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, singles match for WWE Championship.
Oh, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan's going to be retaining. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin, TLC match. If Braun Strowman wins, he gets a shot at the Universal title at the Royal Rumble. If Corbin wins, he becomes the official general manager of Raw. Also, if Corbin loses, he loses all authority power.
Braun Strowman.
And I think Kurt Angle gets involved.
That's what I was thinking too. Kurt Angle gets involved, or somebody replaces Braun, and it's equally as good.
Intercontinental title match: Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, single match.
Oh, Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dean Ambrose. I think Dean Ambrose is gonna pick up the win on this one.
Yeah.
So those are our picks. That's all we got. It's gonna be a not that long weekend wrestling. All we got is TLC on Sunday. Dude, there's 11 fucking matches at TLC.
It's long. It's long. But you know what I'm really looking forward to, especially for long pay-per-views? January 4th, my man. Wrestle Kingdom.
I have some bad news for you, sir. There will be no New Japan Battle Royal.
What? Excuse me?
No cheeseburger.
No cheeseburger?
No cheeseburger.
Dude, I fight like hell not to scream in the middle of the night because I see cheeseburger.
Dude.
He's the only reason why I want to watch ROH.
Yeah, I know, right? It's ridiculous, dude.
I mean, not saying that everybody else on ROH is not good, because there's a lot of great talent over there, but still.
Oh, speaking of ROH, before we get out of here, before I play Mustafa Ali's entrance, because Mustafa Ali's the motherfucking man. So, check your local listings, because there is a channel known as Stadium TV. If you're in Sacramento, it is on one of the 40 dot whatever. But they have ROH on Stadium TV. Check your local listings. Watch ROH on Stadium TV.
Okay, that's dope. And also, we should mention, we are on Spotify.
We are officially on Spotify. We are officially on every single app that you can get a podcast on. So like, share. Oh, one last thing before we get out of here. Rest in peace to the great Axel Henning. Kurt
Axel.
Henning. Yes.
What?
Yes, Kurt Henning's father passed away. Larry the Axel Henning.
Oh, you mean his grandpa, right?
Yeah. Larry Henning, Curtis Axel's grandpa.
That's crazy.
Mr. Perfect's father passed away last week at the age of 82.
That's crazy. What?
Yeah.
Larry the Axe. I didn't know he passed away. That's sad. He passed away on the 6th.
Yeah, last week.
That's crazy. How do we not know? Where was the love?
It was a little blip. So, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
Peace out, y'all. We'll see you next week.
Peace.